Good morning, folks. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. And we're going to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do, the usual disclaimers. First off, folks, you are going to see in the description box a link to the article that the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read. It is written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics. They surveyed over 900 ABA professionals from all over the world in regards to the JRC's quote-unquote behavioral treatment program. In fact, the JRC doesn't want you to read this article so damn much, they threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic has refused. And that kind of strength deserves rewards, folks. Let's get that article out there on all social media. Let's read, let's make it viral. If they are so threatened by a small little non-for-profit article, there's something in there they really don't want you to know. You're also going to see a link to NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the threat by the JRC. You're going to find their GoFundMe in there as well, folks, just in case the JRC has the balls to see through their threat. We also have the links to the Agape boarding school situation, a school out in Stockton, Missouri that has over 19 lawsuits filed against it in regards to sexual abuse, torture, and starvation of at-risk boy teens. Folks, please go to those links, share them on all your social media, make it viral, all right? We got the other pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign as well, including Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject, the 10 plates, and the ever-present self-explanatory change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. When we discuss the JRC, folks, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of peoples with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones, all right? Okay, folks, so it is 9:08 a.m. in the morning. I am a wee bit more awake. I got all, and I do mean all. God, I'm dead. All of my usual exercise done this morning. So I'm slightly bit of a train wreck, so if I stumble over my words, folks, apologies in advance. That's why I'm drinking my white stuff here, okay? This is what I refer to, folks, by the way, as my powder. This is my breakfast every morning. This is about 64, well, half of it. It was like about up to here earlier, but it's about 64 grams of protein. That's my breakfast in the morning. So when I refer to powder on my other videos, this is what I mean, all right? Okay, let's go to where we left off yesterday. Clinicians do not conduct routine preference assessments. This is a completely false statement that, once again, intentionally manufactured by the review team through their method of not asking JRC for information and refusing JRC's many requests to provide them with information about the JRC program. Once again, this is the JRC saying, if you would just let us explain, we can tell you why we're right and you're wrong. It's condescending as shit, first of all. It comes from this assumption that nobody knows what they're talking about but the JRC. In spite of the fact that you've got 2 over doctorate level people on the team, the JRC knows better because they're the only ones on the planet, according to them, who deal with people this severe. It's garbage, folks. It's complete, utter bullshit. Okay? It's garbage, which makes their explanations garbage. The reason why review teams do not ask you for the information, JRC, is because they have all your bullshit propaganda. They have the lies. They have your fucking stupid ass, non-coherent fucking explanations for why you torture disabled people. Okay? They have all of this information. We're not manufacturing evidence against you because why, JRC? Do you really think we don't have better things to do with our time? That we're just going to target you just because it's Tuesday and we're bored? It's not how these types of visits go, folks. When teams come in to do unannounced visits, it's because there has been enough evidence and enough scary ass questions that have been brought to the forefront with evidence to back it up that we need to go in there without your bullshit. We're here to observe with our own eyeballs. We don't want your explanations. We don't want your excuses. We don't want your bullshit lies. We are here to see with our own eyeballs what you are actually up to. We include professionals who, yes, JRC do specialize in dealing with the population that you are speaking of. The hubris that these people have to try and tell us, but they don't deal with the severe like we do. It is the height of ego and hubris, in my opinion. The very height. Absolutely. Because I'm sorry, JRC, but the population that you serve, if you call that fucking serving, can also be found in other states all across the country and in countries all across the world. To sit there and act like you are the epitome expert on this particular population and everybody's wrong but you, and that we are bullying you, for lack of a better term, and just making shit up to make you look bad, that is the absolute height of ego and victim mentality. They could probably teach AH a thing or two. But moving on. JRC's clinicians and other members of the treatment team and all other staff do routinely conduct preference assessments on weekly and at times on a daily basis. Well, you all like your paperwork. Prove it. Where's the documents? Because I know for a fact that NSED asked you for these fucking documents back in 2005. I know this because I read the damn report. You didn't provide anything. And now we come in and we see it with our own eyes, and now you want to play the victim, but nobody asked us. We asked you a year ago, Karen. We asked you a fucking year ago after the 2005 assessment was done for this information. You provided fucking nothing. And then the 06 report comes out after we had to fucking come in and observe to get non-biased information. fucking please, if you had this information, why was it not provided when it was requested for a year before this team went in? Really? Really? Effective rewards are preferred method of behavioral treatment at JRC, and JRC has the most extensive reward program in the nation. Oh, here the fuck we go again. Nobody gives a shit about your rewards, JRC. Okay? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. But look at our rewards place. Isn't it wonderful? No, it isn't, JRC. Coming from a fucking autistic. No, it isn't. It's infantilizing as fuck. It's degrading as hell. Okay? That's what your reward program is. And it does in no fucking way whatsoever prepare these kids for the real goddamn world. Stop with your rewards program. When your rewards program considers the right to fucking eat breakfast as a reward, it's garbage. Period. Clinicians at the JRC also conduct behavior counseling sessions, and case managers speak with their students constantly. Oh, you mean when they don't listen to a damn word a person says about the abuse they are going through and the fact that they're starving because it's in their contract? You mean that? You mean that? Or maybe it's your bizarre behavioral lessons where you will have staff jump out of nowhere, grab a student by the fucking scruff of their shirt, and threaten them with a knife, saying, "You want to eat it? You want to eat it? You want to eat it?" You mean that behavior program? Where you are trying to push them to have a behavior so that you can torture them. And then if they don't exhibit that behavior, you torture them. You mean that one? What exactly am I not understanding here, JRC? What do you think NSED isn't understanding? Really? During both types of interaction, students are again asked about their interests and other rewards that the student would like to add to their behavioral treatment program. You mean, I love when they say, but we get their consent. But we really don't. We ask the parents. Or we ask the guardians. It's fucking garbage. Clinicians also review the students' behavioral charts with interventions phase line directly on them to determine the effectiveness of rewards. The rewards program, this whole thing is garbage, folks. Let me tell you what a person-centered planning thing, an alternative on this would look like. Instead of this rewards bullshit, where you have to earn the right to be treated like a fucking human being, or a fucking kid. Let me give you a contrast here. Person-centered planning, on the other hand, is where you develop a plan with me. We'll just use me as an example. As the person in charge, ultimately, who has the ultimate veto, yay or nay. We go over what issues or behaviors that I might be having some problems with. We would then go through suggestions as to reasonable accommodations, tricks, mannerisms, something that we can find Oh, actually, first we go to, they would talk to me. What's triggering this? What is going through my head before some behavior would come out? Then suggestions would go around. With suggestions from my doctors, from my mom, who I included. That was my choice, by the way. Nobody stole my autonomy. That was my choice to include her as someone I felt would see things I wouldn't necessarily see. We would go over reasonable accommodations, strategies, together, what I felt I could integrate in order to better assist myself so I would not end up in those situations to where I was triggered into, quote unquote, the behavior. And you never would believe what would happen, folks. Those behavior lessened. A good majority of them have, at this current time, completely disappeared. Completely disappeared. Why? Because instead of treating me like a performing, funking sea monkey, I was treated like a human fucking being. That's what person-centered planning is. It's about finding solutions, not bliss shit. Not making me have to earn the right to be treated like a human being, but working off of the assumption that I am a human being and looking to find solutions to the triggering problems that get me to those violent tendencies. What is happening that is causing them? Taking care of that with assistive devices, reasonable accommodations, therapy, whatever needs to be used. That assists in preparing students for the real world, folks. That kind of approach is based on logic and the assumption that the patient or the consumer, no matter where you are, it's a different word everywhere, is a human being with rights, thoughts, and ideas. And they treat you as one. It puts the person with the disability in the driver's seat. It gives them a say. It gives us the chance to talk about what is triggering us. Because believe it or not, you morons, we know what's triggering us. Fucking ask. And on that note, folks, we're going to go ahead and close out before I lose what's left of my shit. We don't get very many views on this channel, especially on this subject. The few that we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this morning. And as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.